The devil exists, God exists, and for us as people, our very destiny hinges upon which one we decide to follow. Hello guys, this is Zoe and welcome to another episode of Secretry. Today, we're going to be talking about two of the most notable paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. With the release of the third installment of the Conjuring series, The Devil Made Me Do It, about the first American murder trial having claimed demonic possession as a defense, the famous paranormal investigators have once again been cast into spotlight. Ed Warren was a demonologist and Lorraine was a trance medium. While we know about some of the famous cases they worked on, how much do we really know about the couple? The Warrens dedicated their entire lives to investigating the supernatural, and their works have performed events that were truly astonishing. All the cases that the Warrens worked on have been thoroughly documented, along with all the relics they collected, and these have been considered to be the most powerful evidence to form the connections between the human and the spirit world. Together, they explored some of the famous hauntings in history, including the very well-known Amityville Horror. Their work have inspired Hollywood blockbusters, and while both Warrens are no more, they have left behind a legacy in paranormal investigations. Here are some lesser-known facts about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Fact number 1. Both Ed and Lorraine Warren's interest in the paranormal investigations began at a very early age. Ed believed that the house he grew up in was haunted and claimed to have seen the ghost of his family's landlady at the age of 5. Soon after, he also claims to have seen many dead relatives, including an aunt who would send him messages about his future. As for Lorraine, she recorded her first experiences around the age of 9. Seeing auras around people, Lorraine just assumed that everyone had the same abilities, and both the recollections have been detailedly documented in their book, The Demonologists. Fact number 2. Ed Warren had a near-death experience when he was serving the Navy for World War II. In the year 1945, when Ed was 17 years old, he enlisted in the Navy. Just after a few months, the ship Ed was on collided in the North Atlantic Sea. As a fire blew up, all the men on the ship had to jump overboard. As Ed was in the icy water, he prayed for help and was soon rescued. After this experience, Ed returned home on a survivor's leave for 30 days, during which he married Lorraine and returned to fight in the World War II. Fact number 3. After the war, the Lorraines decided to make their living as artists. But rather than painting landscapes, the Warrens decided to focus on a more unusual subject. Together, they would research on houses they believed to be haunted, go to these houses, sketch them, and then knock on the door and offer the owner the paintings for information about the hauntings. This was the process of how their investigative career began. Fact number 4. The first case of the Warrens that caught media attention was in their hometown in Connecticut in the year 1974. The case of Jerry and Laura Gooden, which was nearly 20 years after the Warrens started their work. As their audience grew, the Warrens expanded their audience through college lectures, speaking engagements, media appearances, and appeared on popular television shows, including The Merv Griffin Show, The Tom Snyder Show, A Haunting, and Scariest Places on Earth. They never charged money for their investigations and made a living from the lectures, and by licensing the rights to their stories to TV, films, books, etc. Lorraine even had a cameo in The Conjuring. Fact number 5. As the Warrens began taking on bigger cases, they also gained a lot of critics. In an effort to prove Lorraine's abilities, she underwent scientific testing by parapsychologists at UCLA and was found to be far more than average, determining her as a light trance medium. Fact number 6. While the Warrens are known for being an idyllic couple, there was a disturbing allegation made against the devout Catholic couple that Ed had a younger lover. In 2014, a woman named Judith Penny, in her 70s then, said that she was Ed's lover for over 4 decades, and this was with Lorraine's approval. Penny claimed to have moved into the Warrens' home in the year 1963 when she was only 15. According to her statement, Penny claimed to have often slept with Ed and even became pregnant but ended up having to have an abortion. Penny and Ed's relationship ended 3 years before his death in 2006, and these allegations surfaced during a legal battle over the profits acquired from the Conjuring film. Fact number 7. During the investigation of the Small family, Warrens encountered a succubus, A succubus is a female supernatural entity that primarily attacks men, usually through sexual activity. When the efforts to remove the succubus failed, the Warrens even received reinforcements from a future pope, Pope Benedict XVI, a cardinal at that time. Fact number 8. Along with the investigation of the Small family, few other notable investigations include Annabelle, a demonically possessed raggedy doll, gifted to a nursing student in the year 1970. And this story, like we all know, inspired the movie Annabelle and became a trilogy in the Conjuring universe. Next was the Perron family's house, and this served as an inspiration for the movie Conjuring. Though these movies seem to be over-dramatized and almost impossible to believe, the Warrens have claimed that all of the events depicted were actually true. Though Ed died in the year 2006, Lorraine stayed and worked as a consultant on the film. Fact number 9. Both Ed and Lorraine Warren have highly warned against the use of Ouija boards, claiming that almost 75% of their cases came from the use of Ouija boards. Fact number 10. Ed and Lorraine founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. They have also created the Occult Museum, a space in their Connecticut home to keep all the haunted objects, the files and tapes from their investigation. Today, the NESPR is run by the Warrens' only daughter, Judy, and their son-in-law, Tony Spera, and their website keeps a log of some of the cases the Warrens investigated. The main reasons why the Warrens made such an impact was that they were the only real-life ghost hunters and demonologists out there for a long time. Back in the day, there was no internet and no hundreds of paranormal investigation groups hunting graveyards and deserted houses. There was only one Ed and Lorraine, and since they were the main source for these, it really established their reputation. The Warrens, through their work, hoped to serve two main goals. One was to warn the people of the dangers, and the other was to bring about an understanding about the supernatural to enable the public to cope with the idea. These are the 10 facts that I have for you today. Hope you all liked this video, and do let us know your thoughts in the comment box. And also do like and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting topics.